I don't know about you, Terry, but that music makes me a little bit, it gives me a little bit of a positive mood.
Yeah, it does. I like it. Makes me want to jump around a little bit.
Jump around, jump around. Not that kind of jumping around, but it feels a little bit like, I don't know. Does it feel a little bit like the 80s, maybe?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Mhm.
a lot like the 80s. Not a
A
little,
lot
a
like
lot.
the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're going to be out back in the kid in the Ocean Pacific t-shirts, a pair of Levi's at the club, right?
Yep.
Yes, that was when I grew up. That was absolutely, unquestionably, in my opinion, I could be wrong about this, but I'm never wrong. Best decade ever, the 80s.
Yeah, the 80s were pretty good. Yeah, I liked them. That's when I started my business. Yeah, it was a pretty good decade. So,
I mean, come on, you could wear white shirts and pastel shirt. You can wear white suits and a pastel shirt underneath because you wanted to be like Miami Vice.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yes, Crockett and Tubbs. What a great show, man. I don't know. I wish they put something like that on TV again today. All right, so today we're gonna try Colonial Downs. I don't know if you took a look at some of those races yesterday at Colonial Downs, Terry, but man, they had some bombs come home.
Well, yeah, that's what I heard. I didn't actually look at the results, but and I heard the front runners did pretty well. So,
Well, it's a mixed bag. I wrote down how every race was run so that we'll have a sense of what it might look like in terms of pace today. But it does seem to me, and we were talking about this last night with Tyler Connor on the show with Sean on Horse Center. Did you get a chance to watch Tyler and Sean and myself converse a little bit about HISA and my theory on why maybe front runners are doing a little bit better now?
yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah, because it hasn't rained, it's a lot drier, the tracks are a lot drier, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you haven't headed over, if you haven't checked out Connor, we talked a little bit about his 1,000th win, which was a lot of fun for him. He hasn't even celebrated yet. It's like a real down to earth, low key dude. And it seems like he likes to go fast. He's riding bulls, he rides horses, he rides motorcycles. Not interested in riding ostriches, though. So if you want to figure out what that's all about, make sure you head on over there. But in the course of our conversation, we were talking about HISA and the whip rules. And he was saying how the whips don't hurt the horses and so forth. And he owns a farm and he does a lot of aftercare. So, I mean, Tyler knows horses.
Yeah.
And I was saying, he was talking about how if you hit 10 times, you get suspended and you lose the entire purse. If you hit 7 through 9, you lose 10% of the purse. So, and I had mentioned, it just seemed like the last couple of weeks, you've seen a lot of speed horses winning. And I wonder if jockeys are saving their whips so they're not using, like, sometimes you see a horse that maybe gets out of the gate a little bit slow and a jockey will give him a yah to get him going.
Yeah.
And maybe now they're not hitting them with the yahs because they don't want to use up those whips.
Yeah, I think you might be right about that. So, yep.
So maybe it has nothing to do with the weather and everything to do with the new rules. So make sure you check out Tyler Connor's interview. There's a lot of good stuff in there. And then tonight on Horse Center, we're going to have George Bush, but not George Bush,
we know
the president. Well, no, we know this is the George Bush, the father of Vernon Bush, the trainer.
Yeah.
So it should be a lot of fun to have him on. I'm looking forward to that. Vernon was supposed to join us, but he forgot he's going to go off to he's going off to a concert. So if you're going to go to a concert, who would you go see? I'm going to think he's going to go see. He's going to go see Metallica. I don't know. Who do you think
really?
He's going to go see?
No, I think
I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I think it'd be Travis Tritt or somebody like that.
So he's going to go country.
Western.
I think he's a little bit rock and roll. You're a little bit country.
That's right.
Well, we'll have Sean reach out and ask him, and we'll see who's closer, not necessarily who's right, the right genre. All right. So let's see who can be a little bit closer on our picks today. Well, hopefully we're both spot on. And I got to say, after reviewing this card, Terry, and I don't know if you're in agreement with me, I didn't find what I would call one easy race on the card today where I'm like, yes, this is the absolute winner.
Nope. I had a hard time finding the best bet, to tell you the truth. So,
Well, that means the race should be wide open and we should be able to hopefully find some prices in here. The first one is a 6 furlong race. It's a maiden $60,000 race. I think all the horses in here have never started before. Is that correct? Yes, they're all first-time starters. They're all 2 years old. So this is a race where quite literally anything can happen, Terry. They didn't run any 6 furlong races yesterday. The only one they ran on the dirt was 7 furlongs. It was won by a horse that went wire to wire, so maybe wire to wire will be the way here today too.
Could be, could be. So I'm going to start off with that first race. I'm going to start with your girls, and I'm going to start with number 5, Naval Empire. She's a first-time starter whose breeding suits today's sprint distance, and she has a really good workout on July 5th. And then I like number 6 as my second pick, Latashi. She is a first-time starter also, because they're all in this race first-time starters.
Yes, indeed. So you can just throw their names in a hat and pull out one, and you might have a winner.
That's right. Well, her dam has 5 winners from 6 starters, and one of them is a stakes winner. And then number 2, B Mountain, again, first-time starter. Dam has 2 winners from 5 starts and 1 stakes winner. Her breeding suits today's distance. She has a good workout on July 6th. And then number 3 is my 4th pick, Munis Pretty. Of course, she's a first-time starter. The sire wins 16% of the races with their first start. And then the dam has 1 winner from 2 starters, and her breeding suits today's distance.
Oops, somehow I got to bring my notes down here, Terry. That's where they go. They don't go up there. Somehow, race number 1, we landed on the same 4 horses, just in a little bit different order. I'm going to start with B Mountain, the 2 horse. Was the most expensive horse in the field. And if you look at the workouts, they're just as good as any of the others on paper. So why not go with a little better odds? Latache, Bullet and Go Angle, which is an alpha angle for first-time starters. You read Barry Meadows' book, The Skeptical Handicapper, when he runs through just countless statistics. It's a great book if you're a numbers person like I am. But an alpha angle to me is one that hits at 15% or more. That's one of them. And trainer Michael Stidman wins at the top win rate for any of the trainers in here with first-time starters. Number 5, Naval Empire, does score the top pedigree numbers for the distance. Works are solid compared to the field as well. And then finally, Munis Pretty, one of the 2 longest shots on the board. And of the 2 longest shots on the board, does have the better, at least longest shots from the morning line. Does have the better workouts between the 2, just in case one of those prices come home a little bit. Race number 2, let's see, Charles says, to be or not to be is the question. Indeed, Charles, that is the question. But I'm going to be on to be to see if to be can be the winner bee today. Race number 2, Mr. Terry, this one is hold on a second, wrong button. It's a 1 mile race on the inner turf. Yesterday, the last 2 races on the card before they did all the jumping around in the last 2 real races on the card. But there were 2 1 mile inner turf races. They were both won by pressers yesterday, Terry. One was second at the quarter mile marker. The other was third at the quarter mile marker. So clearly being forwardly placed. Worked yesterday. Whether that works today or not, I'm not sure. Doesn't look like post position really makes that much of a difference because one from the 3 spot, one from the 12. So it looks like it might be fair for post position. That's the way they ran yesterday. How are they going to run today?
All right. Well, we'll have to wait and see. But I like number 8, Goldie's Boy. It's my first pick. He finished 3rd versus Tupper in his last race. He drops in class today. And then I like number 2 as my second pick, Fear of the Deer. I wonder why. He drops.
Well, that's what they say about the Milwaukee Bucks. So it's obviously a Milwaukee Bucks fan from the NBA.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm always right, Terry. You just chalk it up.
Okay. He drops in class today. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And he has a trainer wins 18% of the time when racing a horse in the second race after a layoff. And then number 1, Sam in Style. He ran 4th in his last race, beaten only a length and a quarter. And he was going against Tupper. He has the highest last race speed rating. He drops in class today, and the Rail Post is winning at a 19% clip. Number 7 is my 4th pick, Power Through. He drops in class today and may improve in his second start after a layoff.
I'm going to open up with the double 2s. Is the snake? No, that's not Snake Eyes. What would that be? 4 Eyes? So I'm going to open up with 4 Eyes. Number 2, Fear the Deer is my top pick, as I mentioned yesterday. Couple of pressers won yesterday at the distance and at the inner turf 1 mile course. So this one should be a presser, 3rd or 2nd at the half. did show better pace numbers last time out for the first half mile. And I'm expecting the Fear the Deer to be a better deer in race 2 off the sidelines. Number 7, Power Through, second choice in race 2. I think this one's likely to be on the front, does have the top early pace numbers by a pretty good margin. Much better in the first quarter mile and half mile in terms of fractions last out. And when you combine jockey Jared Loveberry and Chris Block, those two together have run 11 times, not a whole lot, but managed to win 5 of those 11. So percentage-wise, they click at a good number. Number 1, Sam in Style. This is a horse that's dropping in class. The lone win, however, was a maiden claiming 10,000. It is one of the few horses in here that does have some experience on the Colonial down track, going out 3 times with a second and a third. So it just needs a win to complete the trifecta. And then finally, Glorious Weekend. Another that's dropping in class. This one tends to make some strong late moves, but could be closer to the pace with this bunch based upon their pace figures. And if so, his late kick could be tough to match for some of the front runners in here. Race number 3, Terry, as we move along on the Colonial Downs card, is a 6 furlong maiden $60,000 race. As I mentioned, they didn't run any at 6 furlongs yesterday. The lone dirt race was won wire to wire. You like the 6 horse as your first candidate here.
That's right, I do. And the reason I like that horse is that Perfect, she is a first-time starter who has really good breeding. She has a bullet workout on July 5th, 101 and 3 breezing, best of 6. Then I like number 5, La Samala Laura. She ran second in her last race at Delaware Park, has the highest last speed rating. And then her trainer wins 24% of the time when a horse he has in a second race off of a layoff. And this horse has a good workout on July 2nd. And then number 2 is my third pick, Love of My Life. That's my honey bunny. She has a lot of racing experience. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. They added blinkers today to keep her mind on business.
Her mind on racing and not on Terry.
That's right. And she has a bullet workout, 35 breezing, best of 12. That's a pretty nice one for 3 furlongs. And then number 1, Black Currency is my 4th pick. She's a first-time starter whose dams has 4 winners from 6 starters. Her breeding suits today's distance, and she has a good 3 furlong workout on July 2nd.
So I'm going to start with La Samana Laura. This horse was off 7 months after the November debut. Came back to run better numbers across the board. So it was better from start to finish than in the debut. And it had those better numbers despite hopping at the start of the last race. So maybe a little better, cleaner start here. And those numbers will be even better. And I also like the fact there's a couple really nice workouts in between races, or it should be really sharp, I feel like. Number 6, Perfect. Looking at that bottom line of workouts, it's bullets galore, Terry. It's like Chicago on the weekend, man. Anyway, she's got a lot of bullets in her workouts getting ready for her debut, so expecting a good race as well. Number 1, Black Currency, is the other first-time starter in here. So I don't really feel like there's a lot of other horses in here to beat. And additionally, it's the only 4-year-old horse in the field, so it should be bigger, stronger, and a little bit more mature than all of the others, which are 3 years old. And then finally, the Love of My Life gets my vote as the second best experienced horse in this group, Terry. Better first half mile last time out. Bullet workout in between, so that's a positive. That means the horse is trending in the right direction, and I expect it to continue to trend in that direction in the second start after a layoff. Before we move on to race number 4 and my best bet of the day, Terry, which for me, like you, is very difficult to pick one, the best bet of the day. Yesterday, we introduced you to the picks with the professor. Again, there is a link to Picks with the Professor right in our description on Facebook and YouTube. So if you like taking a look at betting sports, the professor yesterday gave us the Tampa Bay Rays with a plus 105 line. And it was a back and forth game. But in the end, the professor and his statistics degree, the statistics professor, was absolutely 100% correct. So hopefully you took my my pick 4 money, put it on the put it on the Tampa Bay Rays and ended up a little bit above break even. Well, not over break even, because if you had done that parlay, you would have did really well. Today, the professor likes the Mariners at minus 107. He says Flexit isn't great. That's the pitcher. But hard to say he's that much worse than Gray is. That's the other pitcher. He's not really buying into the Gray narrative as of late. The underlying metrics say he's been solid to good, but not great. Price says he's great. Cause otherwise, there's no way to justify making anything this close to a pick 'em. Mariners keep rolling against one of the worst teams in baseball tonight. So there you go. Make sure that you go to the picks by the professor. You'll see again a link down here. Go check out his YouTube show for the entirety of his picks, and let him know in the comments section that Horse Racing Today sent you. Terry, do you ever bet baseball?
No, only if I'm in like Reno or something like that. I'll sometimes bet it, but other than that, I don't bet. No.
Nah. Yeah, I play. The thing is, though, with all the work we've been doing now, trying to grow horseracingtoday.net,
Yeah.
it's been one of those things I really haven't had time to focus on my statistics and the way I do things. But
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start playing some of the professor's picks. Last night I wanted to, but I just didn't have time getting ready to go to work with Sean. As I mentioned, race 4 is my best bet of the day. This one is 1 mile on the inner turf. As I mentioned, the 1 mile on the inner turf. They ran a couple of them yesterday. Both won by pressers. So we'll see if we get a presser in here today. The 3 horse is my top choice. That is Chica Boom. And not only did I make it the best bet of the day, but part of the reason why is I figured I had a great name. Chica Boom.
I like the name, yeah.
Yeah, it is a closer if you look at the past performances on this horse, Terry, but it does have some of the better early pace numbers. So I do think that you'll see Chica Boom more forwardly placed than what it looks like she might be in her past performances. And I actually expect that she could be on the lead at the half-mile marker. So she's on the lead with some of the late pace numbers in here, did run the top last race pace figure, and drops in class. So I think there's a lot of things going in Chica Boom's favor for this spot, Terry. You don't have Chica Boom as your first pick. You like Safe Travels instead.
I do. Number 1, Safe Travels. The Rail Post is winning at a 19% clip, and she drops in class today. She can improve while returning to her route, and she has a good workout on July 5th. Then I like number 2, Tiz Nina. She seems to like the turf better than the dirt, and is returning to the turf for this race. Has a bullet workout on July 2nd. And then I like your pick of the day, number 3, Chica Boom. I love the name too. She has the highest last race speed rating, drops in class today, has the highest speed figure today's distance, and the best stir speed, fastest among today's starters. So she checks those boxes off.
So now you're probably wishing you made it your best bet of the day.
It could have been, yeah. So number 4, Shotzi, is my 4th pick. She finished 3rd versus similar on dirt in her last race and has the highest speed rating figure at today's distance.
All right. So I mentioned why I like Chica Boom, aside from the name, as my best bet of the day. I feel like there's a lot working in Chica Boom's favor. Number 4, Shotzi, is my second choice in race number 4. Shotzi has the best late pace numbers in the field, and it is not even close. So will be absolutely rolling late. Gets a weight break and consistently runs some of the best speed numbers in this field, but there's not a lot of upside. Shotzi is what Shotzi is. And if the other horses don't run their best, Shotzi will absolutely capitalize. Tiz Nina, lone win, came at the distance. So you got to like the fact that it can run at the mile, but ran at the mile twice. One win, ran off the board in the other. Does have a nice Colonial workout. And I consider this the Mike Smith angle. Mike Smith told us that's the Hall of Fame jockey, how a horse trains at a track is typically how it runs at a track. So hopefully that nice workout translates from the range to the golf course. Finally, number 1, Safe Travels. This one I think could be the pilot of the race. Last and only time she got the lead, she went wire to break her maiden just a couple of races ago. So if it gets the lead, gets confidence, Safe Travels could safely travel to the winner's circle. Race 5, Terry, is your best bet of the day. But before we talk about your Colonial Downs best bet, what do you say we talk about your best bet today over at – where's your best bet today, Terry?
It's there. It's over at Colonial down. I
Horseshoe,
mean Horseshoe
Indianapolis today.
Indianapolis. Yeah,
Yes. How did
eighth
your
race.
Colonial Downs thing do yesterday? I know your second pick one and the other two ran out of the money, right?
That's correct. Yeah, second pick won and paid just $3, 210, and the other my third pick was scratched,
Mm-hmm.
and my first pick ran out of the money.
So
Okay,
for the month, your second pick is the one they kind of focus on, right?
absolutely. My second pick's finished in the money almost 89% of the time and won 55.5% of the races. So
Mm.
you know,
Charles says in race number 4, we left out the 6 horse, so we might regret that, Terry, especially when it comes to our hot dog pick fours, which are coming up. Your best bet today is Horseshoe Indianapolis, as we mentioned. So Jeeper, you might as well just scratch Jeeper out and go straight to Gunton Row because that's your second pick of the day.
yeah, you might want to do that, but I've seen it turn around. It's kind of like that, a cycle. Sometimes the second pick will win for maybe a third of the month, and then all of a sudden here comes that first pick because the first pick's not doing bad. It's just not doing as good as I'd like. But anyway, I like in the eighth race, number 5, Jeeper. He comes in from Churchill Downs after running second versus Tougher on the dirt in his last race, and he's receiving the highest last race speed rating. He drops in class today and has a bullet workout on July 2nd at Churchill Downs. He was the best of 95 workouts. And then number 6 is my second pick, Gunton Row. He finished third versus similar in the last race as a favorite, but the trainer has wins 83% of the time when he
I think
brings
that's
a beaten
33.
favorite back. 30. What did I say?
Yeah, 83.
Oh, it's 33.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean,
Epic
83
rating.
will work. Maybe, I mean, your best bet, your second pick is almost winning at 83%. I think it's in the money at 83. So there you
That's
go.
right. Yeah. Anyway, when he brings back a beaten favorite, and then number 4, Halo,
Hello.
he has finished in the money in both races, and he has had on turf, and he ran second in his last race versus similar on the turf.
All right. So with that Tampa Bay Rays money that you got last night from picks with the professor and the pick 4 yesterday, that hot dog prime rib pick 4, and I'm really salty because I should have had the 7. I should have had the $2,000 pick 5. 3 of my top picks won in the pick 5, and it's just terrible when that happens. But let's go. If you would like to support the show, please head on over to hit that. You hit the button over there today where it says HRT Gear on the Horse Racing Today site. See, we put something new up and only 2 days left. So if you want to support the show and do so in a way where you can save a couple of bucks, and who can't benefit from saving a few dollars in these inflationary times. Got a new outfit out there with the horse racing logo on there. Mine's on the way. I can't wait to get it and sport it, Terry. But I think that looks pretty good. What do you think about the work I did there in Photoshop to make that happen?
Looks good. Yeah, I like it. So it maybe you should have made it like a horse track, the oval.
Yeah, I should have thought about that, Terry. Put a stop
Yeah,
and finish line in there. Yeah, that's what the brainstorming is all about. All right,
that's
so
right.
let's go on to race number 5, Terry, which
Okay.
is your best bet of the day. Race number 5 at Colonial Downs is 1.16 miles. This one is on the outer turf. They did not run any at 1.16 miles on the outer turf yesterday. In fact, they only ran 2 races on the outer turf yesterday. Excuse me, 3 of them. They were all 5.5 furlongs. One of the 5.5 furlongers was one wire to wire, and the other 2 were closers. So maybe the outer turf is going to favor closers. Tough to tell. We'll find out today. Where do you think it's going to favor the 11 for?
All right. I like the 11 Flying Fortress because she won 2 out of 3 career races, winning the last race at Laurel Park. Excuse me. And then number 1, Elkie Du Jagareet. Again, Jagareet.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep. She has finished in the money in the last 3 races, finishing first in her last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis. And then number 8, Arun. She has won 2 out of 3 career races, winning the last race at Laurel Park and has the highest last speed rating. And then number 12, Go Big Blue Nation. She drops in class today, and her best turf speed is fastest among today's starters, tied with another one, actually.
Yes, Go Big Blue Nation. I think that is the Michigan, right? For football. For me, this is my box it up in race number 5, Terry. That is where we take 4 horses. We put them together in an exacta box, a trifecta box, and a superfecta box. I'm going to go with number 8 as my top pick. Arum. I really do like our good friend Trevor McCarthy on these sort of horses. This is a horse that's going to be mid-pack with some late punch. Trevor's incredibly good at saving horse for the end of the race. Arum has improved in each of her starts, was better across the board last time out, so ran a really nice race from start to finish in her first race after a little bit of time in the barn. Ended up in the top last race speed figure, and in between races has the Eddie C angle. So it ran a bullet workout, then a maintenance workout. I really think Trevor's going to be sitting on a sharp horse with number 8, Arum. Flying Fortress, the 11 horse, should be one of the ones that's coming the fastest at the end. Has a couple of races on turf recently, winning 2 of 3 of them. Always been well bet. I just don't like horses that are going to be as far back as this one potentially is going to be. You look at the past performances, it's way, way, way back. And in deeper fields like this, it just opens up the door to all sorts of traffic problems. But if she can get a clean trip, she has a really good chance to win with that late kick. Elke du Hagrate. This one does have the top pedigree numbers, but not the easiest name to say for turf horses, and won 2 of the last 3 on grass. And then finally, number 7, Swarming. Good name for a horse. There is a $700,000 horse. So not a cheapie by any stretch of the imagination. It is the lone early pace horse in the field. So it's going to be on the lead, trying grass for the first time, dropping in class. And if this race gets moved off the grass, it's not going to get moved off the grass because it's sunny, nice there. The track's going to be fast. The turf is going to be firm. But if it can get to the lead and can take its dirt speed to turf and hold it, could smoke this group on the front going wire to wire. In addition to our box it up, Terry, it's also the end of our hot dog pick 4. That's where we have a $20 budget. We put it together and try to nail in a cheap pick 4, Terry. So we both kind of went to 2-3-2. A couple races I probably would like to add a little bit more, but unfortunately I have to live under my budget rules.
Yeah, that's right. You can't cheat just like you tell me I can't cheat. So
So you like the 8. I don't have the 8. That's a danger point for me. I have the 7. You don't have the 7 in the first race. That's a danger point for you.
Yep.
We both have the 5 and the 6 as our top picks. The race number 4, yes, that must be a wide open race because we don't agree on anything in our top 2 picks there. And we are in unison on race number 5. So
that's
hopefully, right. Only one of us can win. Let it be me.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm glad you agree.
I do. Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to move on to race number 6, Terry. And the race number 6 is a 1.1 miles on the outer turf. Again, they didn't do any of those yesterday. This one's a maiden $60,000 race. Take us away through your picks for race 6, Terry.
Mute myself first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, race 6. I like number 3, Birdie Howe. She ran second versus similar on the dirt in her last race and has the highest last speed rating. And then number 4 is my second pick, Scent of Royalty. She finished third versus tougher on dirt in her only start. Drops in class today. Her breeding suggests she'll like the grass, and her dam has 2 winners from 3 starters, and 2 of those were turf winners. Number 6, my third pick, Soft Touch. She was heavily bet in her debut, running second versus similar on the dirt in her only start. And her breeding suggests she will like the grass, as the dam has 5 winners from 6 starters and 3 turf winners. And then I like number 1, Tequila.
You like tequila, Terry?
No, not really. I like JD.
I had a lot of days afterwards. I liked tequila on the night, but the next morning wasn't a big fan. Thankfully, those days are over.
I understand that. Well, anyway, this horse's best turf speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a bullet workout on July 2nd.
I'm going to start race number 6 with number 6, Soft Touch. This one hasn't run since last year at Colonial. Been working out okay at Colonial, but was the 50-cent favorite in that debut. So keep an eye on the odds. If she gets play, I think the horse will be really live. Number 4, Scent of Royalty, debuted at Churchill Downs for maiden special weight, 120 grand. Should be forwardly placed and has some decent late pace figures as well. And 2 really good workouts since that debut. Number 3, Birdie Howe. That's what I wonder when I play golf, is how come I don't get birdies. This one is the lone presser closer in the field. I noticed a couple of those did nice winning yesterday, which means it's the most versatile horse probably. Can be towards the front, can run off the back depending on pace. So it's up to the jockey to make sure to put it in the right spot, but did run the top last race speed figure as well. So use that versatility, certainly has the class, might come home the winner. And Tequiliera, tough call for me over the first timer, number 2. Perhaps if the 2 gets some play on the board, you might want to flip it around on your bets. But I do like the fact that number 1, Tequiliera, does have some solid workouts since the last race. Race number 7, Terry, this one is my long shot of the day. Race 7 is a 1 mile on the inner turf. As I mentioned, they did run 2 of them yesterday. They were won by pressers. Post position didn't seem to matter. I like the 3 horse in here as my top choice. That is Coco Star. This guy's been running marathons, Terry. If you look at the past performances, he's been running races 2 miles, 2.5 miles. Now it's going to cut back to distances that should work for it. If you rewind to normal races, as I said, speed numbers would smoke what any other horse in this field has been able to do so far, and does have some really nice looking workouts on paper, getting ready to run at a normal distance. All right, Terry, you like the 8 horse in here. You don't have the 3 horse anywhere, so I don't know if that's good or bad for me.
I have it as my 6th pick, alternate. But anyway, I like number 8, Tirate. He finished 6th in his last race after having some trouble at the start and then coming 5 wide into the stretch. But he drops in class today, and his best turf speed is fastest among today's starters. Then number 5, Son of Grace. He has been off since January, but has several good workouts in preparation for this race. He likes the distance, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 36% of the time when he brings a horse back that's been off for 90 days or more, and a high percentage winning jockey. Number 6, my 3rd pick, Chilling Secret. He has early speed, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and has done well on the turf. And then number 4, and I'm going to mess this name up too, Noah Catero. He won his last race at Tampa Bay Downs, has the highest last race speed rating, and the trainer wins 19% of the time when he ships the horse in to race at a new track.
So I mentioned why in race 7 I'm liking Coco Star's chances as a long shot. Behind it, I'm agree with you. Tit Rate drops in class, ran better fractions in that last race as well. 1 for 1 on the Colonial Downs track. Very consistent performer, Terry, but another one that doesn't have a whole lot of upside, but you're going to have to run your best to beat the 8 here. Number 5, Son of Grace, should be on the lead at the half, and the one that all need to pass. Did run well in the only other run off of a break. Ran at the distance 3 times, has a win and a second, so likes the distance, and been on the turf 4 times, collecting a win and a couple of seconds, nothing else. Number 9, Swift Kid. Yeah, this is probably not your winner, Terry, but does like the distance, running at it 11 times, hitting the board in 8 of those, which is a pretty good percentage. I expect the horse to be a little bit better in the second start off a layoff and in the second start for trainer Angel Rodriguez, who wins at 21% when the second time around the track with a new horse. Race 8 is your long shot, Terry. Race 8 is another mile and a 16th on the inner turf. As I mentioned, they ran a couple of those yesterday. 2 of them were won by closers. 1 went wire to wire. The post position, the rail, won 2 out of 3 of those races, Terry, so the inside might be all right. The other one was won by the 4, so maybe there's an inside advantage at a mile and a 16th on the inner turf, if that's what holds up yesterday. It's your box it up and your long shot, so you're going to get a chance to talk about all of these things at once, Terry. Tell us why you like the 8 horse as your long shot.
Well, first of all, my original long shot was scratched, so I had to figure out a different one. Let's see. We're in the 8th race.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to get myself all normalized here. Yeah, I like number 5, 2 Ferris. He finished 3rd versus Tupper on the all-weather track in his last race at Gulfstream Park. has the highest last rate speeding, drops in class today, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 6, Stratford. He has finished in the money in 4 of his 5 career races, winning the last one at Tampa Bay Downs. And then number 2 is my third pick. That's
Alpha. That's Alpha.
That's Alpha. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He finished second in his last race at today's distance and has shown he can compete on the turf. And then number 8, Tap It to the Wire. He has 2 bullet workouts in a row and a good jockey.
All right. So you like the bullet workouts. You like the jockey. That's a good combination there. I like bullet workouts and jockeys as well. Charles, you were at the track yesterday. You do mention that you do like the 3-horse in race number 7 as your value play across the board today. So hopefully we're both right on that, Charles. It'll work out nice if the long shot comes home. My long shot won yesterday, but didn't go off at a long price. I think it went off at 3-1. I would rather it go up in odds instead of coming down in odds, but that's okay. A winner is a winner. Does pay for chicken dinner. But how was the track yesterday, Charles? Tell us a little bit about what your day was like at Colonial Downs. And for me in race number 8, Terry, I also like the 5-horse as my top choice. Tool Ferris did run the best speed figure for this crew last time out. It's going to drop in class. I'm always a fan of that combination. Top last race speed figure, drop in class. If the horse runs the same, maybe a little bit better, should be very difficult to beat. It is coming in from probably the better of when you look at all the different circuits these horses have run on. It's coming in from Gulfstream Park, Belmont, coming in from Kentucky Downs, Churchill Downs, all top-tier tracks. Consistently runs the best numbers in this group, Terry, but also has an occasional race where it pops. So I like the fact that there's upside in there. Number 8, Tap It to the Wire is the second choice. It's one of the more lightly raced horses in this field. Run well in the past after some time off. If he's close to the pace, and when you look at the past performances, when he breaks sharp and he's close to the pace coming out of the gates, that's when you know he's live. Number 6, Stratford, does have the top late pace figures in the field. They weren't close, and they were on dirt. But he's been climbing up the speed ladder, 4 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. My only concern here is I'm not the biggest fan of maiden claimers moving up. And then number 9 is my final choice in here. Auction Kingdom was a little bit of a tough call for me over the 3-horse in this spot. That's Mathman. But if the 6 doesn't show that it can keep that late pace on the turf and after coming up from maiden claiming, the 9 will be right behind it there with some of the best late pace figures. Is dropping in class here after showing that it had a lot more punch late in its last outing. The final race of the day, Terry, is race number 9. Let's see what Charles has to say about yesterday, maybe. Charles says, great weather yesterday, excellent staff, new attitude with CDI management, and great to see employees smiling. Oh, that's always fun, right? It's when the employees are happy. Employees means happy customers. And when you're at the track, one of the things that they really have to work on is making the customers happier. Hopefully, Terry, you and I make the customers happy today with a good day at a tough track with a tough card. The last race on that card is race number 9. Again, another 1.16 miles on the inner turf. 2 closers won yesterday, 2 from the rail, 1 from post number 4, 1 of which went wire to wire. So you get a little bit of a mix. You either want to be on the front or in the back here, Terry. You're going to start off with the 3. Let's see. You have 3, 5, 7, 4. We agree on the 7 and 4 and nothing else.
That's right. Well, I like the 3 American Drama. I think they're going to show a little drama in here. He drops in class today and has a bullet workout on July 7th. And then I like number 5 for the ring. For the
number 5.
Yeah, I got it. Well,
yeah, whatever. It's number 5. He wears. Number 5. He'll be in green.
Okay, all right. He ran second versus Simmer on the dirt in his last race, and his breeding suggests he will like the grass, as his dams got 5 winners, 6 out of 6 starters, and 2 of those were turf winners. And I should separate these names before I get to them. Anyway, number 7, Spotted Cat. He was well bet in his debut, but was bumped at the break, and I think that affected his race quite a bit. He has a trainer who wins 40% of the time when moving a horse from maiden to maiden claiming races. And then I like number 4, Ice Bar. He finished 3rd versus Tougher on the dirt in his last race. drops in class today. His breeding suggests he'll like the grass, and the dam has one winner from 3 starters. One of those was a turf winner.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to start off race 9 with number 9, right? I like that when the race number and the horse number matches up. This was one that almost made my long shot too, because this was going to be a price too. But I expect this one's going to be on the lead. There's really not a lot of pace in this race. When I went through the pace setup, most of the horses, I mean, every other horse is either a pressure horse that has not gotten to the lead or a closer. But I did really focus on this race at a lot of droppers because I feel like in maiden claiming that's probably your best angle is horses that are coming down in class. They might look terrible on paper, but they have an opportunity to improve. I do think Small Field will be on the lead here, taking one of the biggest drops in the field and gets a weight break. So I do like that combination too, a speed carrying less weight. The only problem for me, sometimes these horses that get off to a big lead for whatever reason, they run too fast. Just 2 lengths off the lead instead of 7. Number 4, Ice Bar is another that's taking a small drop in class here. Showed a lot of late burst in his last with the top late pace numbers. So far, 6 races out with a win and 3 thirds. This is going to be the first turf go, but if they can carry that dirt form to the grass track, has a good shot to show up here. Number 10, Criticize. It's another class dropper that ran better fractions last out. Does have a win at 2 1/8 miles, so no problem running a mile in his 16th. Last time out did show that it was a little bit better in the first half mile, which is an indication of a horse that's on the upswing, which is what you kind of want to look for, horses that have a reason to improve in this race. And then finally, number 3, American. What? I have the 7 horse there, Terry. No, number 7, Spotted Cat. Excuse me. It was a tough call between the 7 and the 3. But the 7 horse here is the biggest dropper in the field, well bet in its debut back in September. Since been gelded, so you know Spotted Cat is going to be one angry horse. A couple of good workouts mixed in with some nice maintenance workouts. Maybe Spotted Cat can live up to being well bet way back in September. That wraps up our picks for the card here at Colonial Downs, but it doesn't wrap up our hot dog pick for. Charles says, you might consider playing one horse jockey is light out, brought home $100 to $2 horse yesterday. Top jockey always at this meet and use him in win, place, and show. That's the one horse in the, did you say the last race? I think the one horse scratched in this spot. Was it scratched? Maybe I'm wrong, Terry. But I had the one horse as one of my top picks somewhere, and I had to move it out because it got scratched. So I'm probably wrong on that.
Yeah, no, the 14 was scratched in this race.
All right. That was another one I had in my picks too, but it scratched out.
Yeah, the one was scratched in the 8th and also the 7th.
So I was the 8th horse, maybe. One of those races I had the one as my top choice, but it doesn't matter because he's not running. So our prime rib pick 4s, Terry, look a little bit like this. This is where we get a $100 budget. I hit mine yesterday for, I don't know, it was like $140, something like that, out of the $96. So would have liked to do a little bit better, but I should have really had it. I'm really mad that I didn't catch the pick 5. We're both doing 96, some variation of 4, 4, and 4 and 3. I do think, much like yesterday, you're going to see some nice prices in this card today at Colonial Downs. Terry, what do you think?
Yeah, I do too. I think it's really wide open. When I did my handicapping, I was having a little hard time deciding on which horses to put as my first, second, third, and fourth choices. There were horses I left off that I didn't want to leave off, but with the budget, you have to. I was really disappointed that the 14 got scratched in that last race. I thought that 14 was going to do really well. Actually, it was my long shot of the day, so I was very disappointed with that.
Charles says I was wrong. The one is out on the last race at Colonial Downs, and again, that's at a mile and a 16th on the inner turf. And the one horse did win 2 out of 3 races yesterday at that distance on the inner turf. So horse was pick up mount yesterday, dirt to turf. So hopefully the one horse comes in. If you're going to bet today at Thistledown, Terry, you might want to head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Again, there is a link in the description, both on Facebook and on YouTube. Please click on that or hit a link over on horseracingtoday.net, where you'll find a lot of good stuff, including Terry's best bet of the day. We'll have an Ask Charles coming up a little bit later on today, or maybe first thing tomorrow, but most likely get it posted today. Charles is always answering some great questions there. If you have questions for Charles, you will see his email. I think it's bigcasino@gmail.com. Big Casino Racing, if memory serves. So make sure if you have any questions for that 37-year-old veteran of horse racing that's done everything, you can go ahead and put the questions out and he'll answer them. We'll post them. But again, over at Thistle Downs today, free track of the day, guaranteed tip sheet. Race number 1, Chillin' Lady is a best bet on the Thistle Down card. Hopefully comes home a winner. All right, one quick time here, Terry, through all of our picks for the day. Colonial Downs, you can see Terry's best bet is in race number 5. Mine is in race number 4. So we have a best bet daily double potential right there. Terry's long shot is in race number 8. My long shot's in race number 7. That is another potential daily double long shot. Terry's box it up is in race number 8. My box it up is in race number 5. Again, that's 4 horses, $1 exacta, 50-cent trifecta, 10-cent superfecta boxes. Terry's prime, we have our hot dog pick 4 start in race number 2. That's where we have a $20 budget. Prime rib pick 4 is Terry. That is a $100 budget. That wraps up our picks today for Colonial Downs. Any final thoughts before we get up and get out of here today, Terry?
Yeah, just, I'm hoping everybody has a great week, as I said before. And, I think it's going to be a really exciting summer for horse racing. I'm looking forward to our trip to Saratoga. And, just make sure you give your loved ones a kiss and a hug. And like I said, you never know what's going to happen in life. So.
Yes, indeed. If you are in the Saratoga area, Saratoga Springs, New York, and you're going to be at the track during 4-Star Dave weekend, we will be there. I think Terry and Tom will be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll show up Friday. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sean hopefully can join us, so you'll be able to catch us there. Say hi. There's Sean. Vernon Bush is going to see Rod Stewart and Cheap Trick. All right. So I was closer. I think I was closer, Terry. I don't know that it's Metallica, but it's certainly not Travis Tritt. So probably in the middle. I went to go see Cheap Trick one time for free. They were really good. I don't know that I saw Rod Stewart ever in my life. So just on TV. Again, if you haven't done so, please head on over to Picks by the Professor. If you like to bet sports, he's done very well. We did a lot of research before we went ahead and made a commitment to teaming up with somebody for sports picks. Yesterday got off to a great start. Picked the Tampa Bay Rays at plus 107. Today, going with the Seattle Mariners. There's a link again in the description, both on Facebook and YouTube. Head on over to his Twitter page. Watch his full show on YouTube so you can see all of their picks today. And of course, while you're here, please hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Hit the bell if you like what you saw so you're automatically notified. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook, on YouTube. Follow us on our social sites where you can see our Swiss Army Sean will keep you up to speed with everything that's happening in the world of horse racing and more. All right, Terry, that wraps it up for today. No matter what you do, we want you to think like a winner so that you can be a winner and all of your horses end up in
the winner's circle.
And your baseball bets. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Terry and I will see you tomorrow, same time for Delaware Park. Looking forward to all of our friends from Turkey.